I was fed up with overthinking. For 14 years of my life was simple. I was on the road as a musician, traveling through Canada and the US 6 nights a week, traveling on Sunday, playing in a band. And in those times, it was very simple, just my hotel room and the open road. I had my guitars and my books. And I would immerse myself into books, and I would study Buddhism, Eastern religions, and spirituality, and I taught myself to meditate. And that really reduced my overthinking. And I learned about mindfulness, being present, and it was very valuable for me. Nowadays, it seems like I'm inundated with weapons of mass distraction. The phone. It is always present in my life. I'm just overwhelmed by information, right? The news, television, texts, emails, and so on. And it seems like it's training us. We're being conditioned like Pavlov's dogs. If we hear a notification bell or something, we're distracted. Today, I wanted to share some tips and techniques on how you can also use mindfulness and meditation to reduce the amount of infobesity, I like to call it, information overload, in your mind so that you can have more freedom and more peace. If you enjoy these talks, press the like button, subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. The first tip I have is set aside worry time. So what I do between 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m., I set a time to worry. It's a date with anxiety. I'll spend time thinking about the things that I regularly worry about, like financial issues or something that's on my mind, or emotional issues or relationship problems. I give myself the freedom to just worry. It's kind of fun, so that when midnight or 3 or 4 a.m. rolls around at night, I am not thinking about those things. I've already given myself the freedom to worry, and I can have a peaceful sleep as a result. And it's been very, very helpful in providing me more peace in my sleep. Tip number 2 is reduce your media time. And I mean the news. You know, I've been on a media fast or a news fast for some time now, and it's really increased my levels of happiness. I just feel better. I don't go to the habit of watching the news so much. And I find this real peace inside of me because I'm not bombarded by negative news. So that's another tip that's really valuable for me. And I would encourage you as well to reduce your email and your texting times and your phone times, the weapons of mass distraction, because what that does is it instills more information in the mind. I'm here to remind you that you're a human being, and we cannot compete against generative artificial intelligence machines. We try to, but I would encourage you to stay off social media, reduce your media time, your information overload, your infobesity. You're a human being, and you cannot process this information, even though we try to. So tip number 3 is use meditation very, very consistently. So, 5 to 10, 15 minutes of meditation a day is cumulative in your mindscape. And it's kind of like defragging your drive on your computer. The hard drive becomes corrupted after a while. Information gets jumbled all over the hard drive, and what a defragging process does is it makes your hard drive coherent again. It orders everything, it groups everything into organized structures, thereby making the hard drive more efficient. And that's what meditation does. It makes your brain, it makes your mind more efficient and optimized, and it allows for open awareness. So I like to use the technique OM, or open monitoring. And if you could imagine yourself going to the park and sitting on a park bench and just noticing everything around you, green treescapes, birds, kids playing, and just noticing, just observing, being the witness of the movie that's playing before you. And you relax into your being, and you rest in that being, and you just have open awareness. You're just paying attention to what's going on in your environment. And what that does, it gives you the relaxation, the pause that you need, that your mind needs, in order to be optimized. It's like defragging your brain in a way, open monitoring and seeing what's going on around you. So it's another great technique to just relax into yourself and into your being. So another thing that I wanted to say was that I've found that exercise is very useful in reducing overthinking, reducing stress, reducing anxiety. Walking, swimming, even dancing increases your blood flow to the brain, and there's been research done recently where the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal region, the HPA axis in your brain, becomes activated. It reduces your stress, it reduces cortisol levels. So exercise is really useful for reducing overthinking in your mind. The final tip that I wanted to share today is to be gentle with yourself. Now, the brain is an organ and it thinks, just like the heart beats, the lungs breathe. The brain thinks. The brain is constantly working for you in some capacity, but oftentimes it becomes a little dysfunctional and chaotic. We are addicted to our thinking process. So realizing that the brain thinks, we can be gentle with the brain, can't we? We can relax ourselves. In closing, after reading books on spirituality for so many years, I see a thread throughout all these teachings. And one of the main tenets of all these teachings is surrender. I'm not talking about waving the white flag and giving up. I'm talking about trust and surrendering to life. Life happens for you, not to you. So relaxing into life is so useful. Letting life live you rather than you living life. And you can find great peace in that process if you surrender a little bit. So now I was a musician, I still am a musician, and I used to play that song by the Beatles, Let It Be. And I love the lyrics in it. I think it's so prophetic. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me speaking words of wisdom, let it be. So let it be. Let it be. Let go. Even in Alcoholics Anonymous, the main dictate there, the main axiom was, let go and let God. So trusting that everything will work out right, that we don't need to worry as much, we don't need to think so much. Abundance is there for our taking, and relaxing into who you are and to let it be. Let it be.